I think talking is always better than fighting. And so from that point of view, it has to be encouraged. All the communication channels, all the diplomacy has to be encouraged. But from a fundamental perspective, I can't see anything really changing. We really have embarked over the last 4 or 5 years on the Cold War scenario and separation of the blocs. Now, having said that, it doesn't mean you can't cooperate in a number of areas. For example, the Soviets and Americans cooperated on a whole range of areas, from nuclear weapons to, Antarctica, to climate, to all sorts of issues. So you can cooperate, but the essence of the relationship, that is that China becomes part of the global economy and becomes a stakeholder in the global economy led by the West, that's pretty much gone. So instead of integrating China into global economy, China wants to change the world to better accommodate its own system. So from that perspective, I don't believe anything will be agreed. But as I said, talking is a lot better than anything else.
Of course, and I suppose it is sometimes difficult to separate, the geopolitical positioning via, the actual, financial market implications moving forward. But just to separate them for a second, obviously she's been battening down the hatches when it comes to the Chinese economy more broadly over the course of even just the last couple of months or so. Do you foresee... And I'm not necessarily talking about this APEC summit, but do you see any kind of easing of those tensions playing through specifically to the financial markets? Because in terms of the flow that we've seen coming into China, it's just basically been non-existent from the institutional side in the US. There's a variety of reasons, but is that going to return anytime soon in your mind?
Well, I think the market is gradually adjusting to the fact that China is different, Sinosphere will be different. It's investable, but it's investable in a very different form than what people used to do over the previous several decades. So from that point of view, longer term, I think it is a permanent change. But having said that, if you don't have geopolitics or regulatory pressure right in front of you and consistently getting worse, then investors will get a little bit more relaxed. And that's what I'm hoping for is going to happen over the next several months. That what you're going to get is, number one, stabilization of the economy. Number two, you're going to get somewhat less intense tensions in the political, geopolitical, and regulatory area. And if you combine that with a relatively low multiples, it is quite possible that Chinese shares will be re-rated. The only question is, how long does this re-rating last? Does it last for just 5 or 6 weeks? Does it last for a quarter or two? Or does it last for 24 hours? That is really the question that most investors are interested in.